Hey y'all, this is DJ the Diva coming at you with another video. In this video today, you guys, I want to cover condolences and sincere ways in which you try to console people who've just lost a loved one near and dear to them. Now, uh, there's different circumstances, and you got to know who you're talking to, and you got to know the situation. For instance, my aunt passed away yesterday, um, and my mom, I kind of had to console a little bit, walk down memory lane, make her laugh, okay? My cousin, who is her son that I was talking to, I had to tell him to be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord, that the funeral and stuff is all for us that are left to grieve that person. I also informed him that he did not have to make special accommodations for persons other than him and his sister due to the coronavirus thing. He did not have to include everybody on that decision making. One thing I believe is that it does not matter whether the person is gone now. You still respect them and honor their wishes. Whoever feels some sort of way about it, they don't even matter. Okay, you're grieving your mother, and you have to focus on you and her relationship, you, your sister, and her relationship, and honor her by honoring her wishes. No matter what climate, pandemic, no matter who's feeling, who's under gutties is stuck in their behind, honey. I don't believe just because somebody can't speak for themselves that you go against what they want in order to please somebody else. No, that is a no. That's total disrespect. But, I just expressed to him that she's not there. That is her shell, that her spirit inhabited it. She is with the Lord. So you do what you have to do in order to grieve and honor the woman that she was as your mother. Now, I could talk to him that way. I could quote scripture to him because he is also an ordained reverend. She was saved. So you got to know who you're talking to. So I will be of a more emotional, how are you feeling type of way to his sister. He's saved, he's sanctified, he's a ordained reverend. Her, not so much. You got to know who you're talking to, the situation. Their mom fought with lung disease for many, many years. And although, you never expect someone to die or know the exact day or hour. That's why you're supposed to treat people and love them where they are, how they are now. You're to love them now, and don't put nothing off till tomorrow, what you can do today, because tomorrow may be too late. So in saying that, there's a certain way you have to handle each person, but you got to know that person in order to handle them that way. If you don't, if you're walking into a situation and it's a friend of a friend or a friend of an ex or a friend of a spouse, friend of your spouse's family or whatever, a hard and kind consolidating words. I'm so sorry about your loss. If there's anything I can do to help you, just contact us, that type of thing. Or condolences from me and my family. We're here if you need a listening ear. That kind of thing, you know. But you have to know who you're talking to. Hand them a card. Uh, but nobody wants to sit there and listen to a whole sermon while you hold their hand and tell tell them that their loved one's in a better place. Part of the grieving process, you go through that and you end up there. You're not automatically there from the start. A little bit different when you're a minister or a reverend because you know these things. What he's going to need is a shoulder and a hug, you know. So when I see him, I will offer him that. But scripture is a virtual hug from God, and it came through me today. And I was glad I was able to give him that. Um, a listening ear while he cried. I was glad I was able to give that. Um, so, yeah, there's a lot of ways to handle grief and people that are grieving. And you got to know who you're talking to, what their relationship to the deceased is, um, and where they left things. You got to know the person that is the dearly departed, the deceased, and know that type of person that they are. Were they saved? You know, were they loners? Were they the life of the party? Were they outgoing? Were they intellectual? You have to know these things in order to offer condolences and always reference uh, your relationship to that deceased. Oh, they were a nice person. They always had a smile on their face. They were always pleasant, yada, yada, yada. And if you don't know them, just, the people I've spoken to have spoken so highly. I don't know your mother, aunt, whoever it is that's died, but I can appreciate the love she shared with other people. She was a phenomenal. But in saying that, be careful with, I don't want to say be careful with quoting scripture to people who aren't exactly saved. But at the time of a parent's death, see, a parent is different than a sibling, a friend. It's even different than a child. Um, there's many different forms of grief to many different degrees. And you just have to choose your words wisely in order to not upset the already upset, overwhelmed, and grieving parties. Um, yeah, but I hope in saying this because there is a lot of death going around because of this coronavirus. My dad did not die from the coronavirus, but there are many people in my state who have. And I just wanted to give some tips on grieving. Make sure you always pray for these people, their families, because it's the families that are grieving. That person is no longer there. The funeral is for the people who are left void because that person is no longer here. So they're the ones that need the prayer. They're the ones that need the condolences, because that other person is with the Lord, okay? Better than we are, better off than we are. So I just wanted to give some tips just for consoling people, because some people put their foot in their mouth and just say the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong people. And the last thing you want to do is upset, overwhelm, confuse, or totally emotionally destroy someone who's already trying to hold it together and get through it, um, because they're already tore down and you know, knocked off their feet by the situation. So I hope this helps somebody out there. I love you guys to life. Act blessed, talk blessed, walk blessed, and be a blessing to who? Be a blessing to the Lord by blessing somebody else. Hashtag stay safe, stay clean, and stay alive, you guys. Stay prayed up. This is Deeja the Diva. I love you to life.